Um, We're calling this meeting to order, so if everyone can take their seat, please. Mauricio, can you call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Lama,
Here.
Commissioner Viscara,
Here.
Mayor Goldman,
Here.
we have a quorum.
Okay. The Pledge of Allegiance. Norman Edelcup, would you like to lead?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're so pleased to have Rabbi Amar here for the invocation. Thank you so much. Please step up.
Good evening. It's my pleasure, my first time being here. I would like to first of all wish the new mayor, Dana Goldman, with much success, blessing with the commissioners of this city. I would like to share with you a story, and this will be my invocation. They say that one day it was Education Day in America. Just like on Labor Day, you don't work. On Education Day, kids don't go to school. So this child, 6 years old, goes with his father to work. It's 9 a.m., New York City. And he tells the father, "Daddy, I'm bored." So his father tells him, "Play with your cars." This was, of course, before the great invention of the iPhones and all the electronics. And he plays for 15 minutes and says, "Daddy, I'm done, I'm bored." Draw something. 15 minutes pass again, and again the child is bored. The father is reading the New York Times and sees a big map of the world. He decides to cut the map into 50 pieces and tell the child to go in the conference room with the glass table in order to put the world together. He goes, and 20 minutes later, the child comes back and says, "Daddy, I put the world together." The father is amazed, says, "It's impossible, you barely know how to read. Come and see." And he sees Canada, under Canada, the US, half a wall, Mexico. Anyways, basically, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. "How did you do it? How did you put the world together, son?" And he answered, "Daddy, on the other side of the newspaper, there was a picture of a man. Once I put the man together, the whole world came together." Today, with the new elections, with the new commission, and every one of you, a new era is starting of putting things together for a better time. So my blessings to you, and especially in this time where the Jewish people around the world celebrate Hanukkah. And from the time the first person lit the first candle of Hanukkah in Tasmania, and started a human cycle of lighting the first light for the 24 hours surrounding the world and going into the second night, third night, fourth night, till the eighth night, we are presently bathing in a bath of light that pushes away the darkness. Let me bless all of you and myself that we should never be satisfied with our accomplishments of yesterday, but grow from strength to strength and learn that the only way to fight the darkness, the only way to build a city is by building ourselves and bringing a little more light. And then all the darkness will be abolished, and hopefully we'll be able to be in a better city. It's already extraordinary what you've accomplished. All of you is out of this world. You're an example to all the people that come from all corners of the world and see the way Sunny Isles is conducted and everything that's happening here. But if good is good, better can be even better. So God bless you, and much success in everything that you do. Thank you very much for this honor. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Amar. Okay, we're going to play the mayor's
automated
message.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for being here tonight.
Please turn off or mute any electronic devices to avoid interrupting these proceedings. In all issues that come before the City Commission, we ask that everyone show mutual respect for one another by listening quietly to each person speaking, and that everyone refrain from any clapping, heckling, or verbal outbursts in favor or in opposition to a speaker. Individuals that do not adhere to Chapter 74 Rules of Procedure of the Code, particularly Section 74-21, decorum, shall be barred from further appearance before the Commission. Individuals who want to speak on any item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair and/or do not cease speaking after one warning, you will be escorted out of the chambers.
Our next item is the approval of the minutes, the regular City Commission meeting minutes of October?
Yes, sir.
October or no, October?
October 21st.
October 21st, 2021. Do I have a motion? Do I have a move?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next, item 4 is additions, deletions, and amendments, the order of business. There have been some changes to tonight's agenda as follows. Item 6A has been deferred. The zoning application submitted by SG Properties 2416 LLC for a variance for the property located at 224 Atlantic Avenue. Item 10B has been deferred. The resolution approving an agreement with Finley Group for engineering and architectural services regarding the pedestrian bridge. And we have the following add-ons. Item 10G, resolution approving commission meeting schedule for calendar year 2022. Item 10H, resolution approving a second amendment with Vigilant Solutions for the license plate reader program. Item 10I, resolution authorizing the disposal of surplus computer equipment. Item 10J, resolution confirming appointment to Commission Seat 1. Item 10K, resolution confirming appointment to Commission Seat 3. Item 12B, discussion consent styled agenda. I would also like to add a discussion item to be heard before item 10J regarding the city manager's employment status. Do I hear a motion to accept the changes to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Item 5, special presentations.
This is item 5A, the photo contest winners for the 2022 calendar, and it's Sylvia, our Cultural and Community Services Director.
Honorable Mayor and Commission, I'm speaking on behalf of Kathy. She couldn't join us this evening. Each year, the city of Sunny Isles Beach holds a photo contest asking residents to submit their best photographs showcasing the beauty of Sunny Isles Beach. 17 photos are selected from the contest for the 2022 desktop calendar, while others are used in city publications, on our website, and on our social media pages. The 2022 calendar is a stunning representation of our city and the remarkable progress we've made in our 25 years since incorporation. The photos submitted in this year's photo contest perfectly portray the city's remarkable appeal, including both the city's natural and architectural beauty. This year's calendar is an elegant reminder of how far we've come and serves as an inspiration for the next 25 years. We're going to go through a presentation on the screens. You'll see the photos for each month. And then at the end, I'm going to call up our contest winners. We have an award for them, and we'd like to take some photos. So our cover photo is Early Birds by Matt Porperato. Our introduction is Perfect Day, Nothing in Our Way by Olena Krivoruchko. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. January is Seaside Serenity by Andrew Conlon. February is Strawberry Skies by Lisa Echandia. March is Agua de Vida by Federico Palas. April is Under Red Umbrellas by Hernan Rincon. May, we have Peer into the Sea, again by Matt Borborato. June, we have Over the Palm Tree by Mustafa Ugur Gungur. July, we have Paradise Pathway by Claire Coulard. August, we have Tower in the Sky by Steve Boimel. September, we have Beach Foam by Alodia Holman. October, we have Dancing Skylight Flare by Mirka Nobelok. November, we have Walking to the Sun by David Vergel. December, we have Sunny Isles Back Skyline by Jimmy Bakovicius. For the photography page, we have Fly High by Lisa Echandia. On our Connect With Us page, we have Within the Isles by Stefania Reva. And our end page is Gates to the Ocean by Mikola Kodorovsky. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Now if I can call up Matt Porporoto, if he's here. Olena Krivoruchko. Come on up, please. Andrew Conlon. Lisa Echandia. Federico Palas. Ednan Rincon. Mustafa Ugur Gungur. Claire Coulard. Steve Boimel. Alodia Holman. Mirka Nobelok. David Vergel. Jimmy Bakovicius. Stefania Reva. And Mikola Kodorovsky. Mayor and Commission, if you'll join us down here so we can take some photos. Congratulations to you all for your beautiful submissions. We really appreciate it. Congratulations again. At the back of the room, you'll pick up your box for the award, and then we also have a calendar. And for everyone here tonight, we have our 25th anniversary desktop calendar available for each of you to take one with these beautiful submissions.
Okay, our next, item, we have no zoning matters. So item 7, ordinances for first reading. We have no ordinances this meeting. Public hearing, no public hearings. Ordinances for second reading, no ordinances. Resolutions. Item 10A.
10A is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with Enviro Waste Services Group for stormwater management system preventive maintenance services.
Anybody? got
Presentation?
talking? Is there a presentation on this?
Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't aware that, I know Susan is away. I actually thought Fabricio was coming to this. This is just taking on the next, it's a multi-year contract, and this is entering into the cleaning of the catch basins and drain pipes for the next year.
Okay. Any comments? Any public comments?
No public comments for this.
No
reading.
public? No, any comments, Commission?
Not for me, no.
Can I have a motion?
Yeah, so move.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 10B has been deferred. Item 10C.
10C is a resolution approving an increase in compensation to neighbors given in Nickerson, PA for professional legal services.
Report.
We had this conversation during the budget meeting. We believe that we've been providing very good service to the city over the past 2.5 years, and this brings us a little closer in line to what our colleagues are being compensated for in similar cities.
No public comments.
None for this
Comments? Any comments from the commission? Commissioner Lama?
Can you get a discount?
No comment.
No comments? Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 10B, 10D.
10D is a resolution approving an increase in spending authority with the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company for maintenance and repair services.
Is Tiffany here, the finance director, or?
I do not
No.
believe she-
This is just a payment, an additional payment where we went over and during the previous fiscal year for Goodyear, which does our tires, oil changes, and some other mechanical work.
No. No public comment? Commissioner Lama? Commissioner Vizcarra, no comments? Can I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 10E.
10E is a resolution amending resolution number 98-34 to include June 19th as an observed holiday in the city of Sunny Isles Beach.
Okay, so this, it's been a while since we've added a holiday with the city. I'm going to read this as I think it's important enough. On January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are and henceforward shall be free. However, there was a long delay in the information getting spread until months later after the war, when on June 19th, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced General Order Number 3, proclaiming freedom for the slaves in Texas. Since then, June 19th, called Juneteenth, has been the oldest and only African-American holiday observed in the United States, recognizing the day all slaves were freed. Now, the state of Florida, in addition to President Biden declaring it as a federal holiday. The state of Florida, including most of the municipalities in the state of Florida, have joined in recognizing and celebrating this historic moment. And I just want to add one point, being a bit of a Lincoln history nut. And I might add that 2 months and 4 days after the assassination of President Lincoln on April 15th, 1865 is when this happened.
No public comments? Any comments from the Commissioner? Lama?
I
Commissioner?
think it's wonderful.
Agree. Okay, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 10F.
10F is a resolution electing a vice mayor. Mayor Commissioners, as you all well know, our charter calls for a vice mayor to be elected in the November meeting when there is no general election that year. And this resolution is basically presented so that you all, as a commission, can enter into a discussion and elect the mayor amongst yourselves.
Okay, so I appoint Jennifer Viscara as the vice mayor,
Thank you.
commencing immediately pursuant to Section 2.2B of the City of Sunny Isles Beach Municipal Charter. Have a motion? Can we have a comment,
So
motion?
moved.
So moved?
I'll second.
You second?
All in favor? Okay. Next item.
Next item is 10G. And it's a resolution establishing a schedule for the city commission meetings for calendar year 2022. Like the title says, Mayor and Commissioners, this resolution establishes the dates for the meetings in 2022. I'd like to take the moment to draw the attention of the commission to two specific dates. March 15th. It's not going to be the third Thursday. Instead, it'll be the third Tuesday, and that's in observance of Passover, which would fall on that week, or the day that we would have our commission meeting normally. And also the 12th of April, which is the second Tuesday of that month, and that's in observance of Purim. So our meetings will be at 6:30 on all the days, and the only two changes to the third Thursday rule that we normally have is, again, March 15th and April 12th. Yeah. that's it.
Okay. No public comment, so we move to
So
approve?
moved.
So moved. Second? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay. Item 10H.
10H is a resolution approving a second amendment to the enterprise service agreement with Vigilant Solutions for access to license plate reader data.
Madam Mayor and Commission, this is a resolution authorizing us to enter into an agreement or renewal agreement with Vigilant Solutions to provide commercial data subscription, which gives the officers access to the license plate readers, and also a renewal for the per camera licensing with an amount not to exceed $22,325.
No public comment. Any questions? Commissioner Lama?
No questions from me.
Vice Mayor?
I did,
Sounds
different.
sounds different.
I just had a general comment. I spoke with city attorney earlier, and I have no issues with this. I understand that this is about to expire, so we need to approve it, and that's great. But I just want to comment that we haven't had really time to look at this. This was just presented to us earlier today. So, I mean, I'm good with it because I understand it needs to be done, but I haven't had really the opportunity, so I'm trusting that things are fine. But I think any of the add-ons, if they're not absolutely necessary, they should be deferred just because we got them today. and I haven't been able to do my homework. I don't know about my colleagues, but I understand this absolutely has to be done, right? Today,
Well,
Like, it needs to be
contract's
passed, so.
expiring, yes.
So, I mean, I'm okay with it, and I understand it's important, but I think more generally, if it's not something urgent or that I would want to defer on any of the add-ons that are not absolutely necessary, but not this one.
So moved.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you.
We have
Okay.
a motion, we need a second.
I'm sorry?
We need a second.
Need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Item 10I, add-on.
A resolution authorizing the disposal of electronic equipment as surplus property through Electronic Recycling Center.
Honorable Mayor Commission, this is a resolution to authorize the disposal of surplus equipment. We generally recycle it, and we have been using this company, Electronic Recycling Center.
No public comments? Any comments from Vice Mayor?
Can we do this on December 17th? Is this an urgent matter?
It is not urgent.
Okay, then I would move to defer just so I have time to read it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, no.
Well, there's a
Move
motion to
There's a
defer,
motion, right, so
Yeah,
you want to
I'll-
second that?
I'll second that, yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're on to the discussion item, correct?
That's the next one.
Okay. As many of you know by now, our city manager, Chris Rousseau, has voluntarily resigned. I want this entire transition process to be as transparent and open as possible. I know that many residents are very concerned about the lack of transparency at City Hall, so let me spend a few moments talking about how we got here and where we go from here in compliance with our city's charter and state law. Chris and I had a frank, productive talk yesterday in City Hall about the city's future. During that discussion, Chris told me he would be leaving the city, and we would then talk about his departure date and severance. At this point, we must protect the city's interests, ensure a smooth transition in the city manager's office, and be fair to Chris, who has served our city for 9 years and then previously for a total of actually 15. After extensive consultation with our city's attorneys, I will be putting forth the following 2 items for my 2 colleagues and I to discuss and vote on tonight. Step 1. I will be handing over the gavel to Vice Mayor Vizcarra to run the meeting for the first item. The first item is my motion to terminate the city manager without cause. It's called termination for convenience, and put him on administrative leave until December 15th after tonight's meeting is concluded. The city attorney and I will negotiate his severance package, which the city commission must approve. The motion is structured this way to ensure that we can legally provide Chris a fair, reasonable severance package that is similar to previous charter officers. Again, the city commission must approve of any severance package. If my colleagues approve the termination, then our city's charter provides the mayor must nominate a new city manager, and the commission votes to accept or reject that nomination at the next meeting. I intend to nominate Stan Morris as our interim city manager to be confirmed as the new permanent manager at the next commission meeting. Stan is a well-known veteran administrator in our city. He knows our city. He is ready to lead our city's administration as we tackle the many challenges ahead. I and the city attorney will negotiate Stan's contract to be approved by you, the commission, at the next meeting. My nomination and motion will make it clear that Stan will receive substantially the same terms and conditions, including his compensation package, as his predecessors. I have spoken with Stan, and he is eager to return to City Hall and will work with our commission, our residents, and businesses to make Sunny Isles Beach even better. I will pass the gavel over to Vice Mayor Viscara, and I will move that the commission approve Stan Morris as the acting or interim city manager effective December 1st, 2021. So, the first motion, passing the gavel over.
So, I mean, it's just.
Am I to make that motion? I'm not clear on the
No,
process.
you're the
Oh,
presiding
right.
officer at this
Okay.
moment. So.
My first motion is to terminate the city manager without cause or termination for convenience.
Okay. So now, Commissioner, yeah, if you have a second. Well, no.
No,
So
she made the motion.
She made the motion, so we just need a second from you. A second, yeah, to terminate the contract.
No, I think, I need more time. I mean, this is the option now. I understand that, there's an email there. And, my suggestion is that, we look at the matter and perhaps, we extend this to December 15th, where perhaps something could be negotiated. I understand that he did voluntarily resign, but I have not seen any resignation there.
Well, it's a termination, so I don't know. It's a termination, so that's, it's not a.
Understand the whole scope of it and see what, I understand that you're going to bring Stan Morris back, but I just need more information. I'm not ready to make any decision on this.
Can the city attorney explain the process a little better?
As you know, Mr. Russo has a contract with the city, and it clearly provides that in the event he voluntarily resigns, he's not entitled to any severance. I believe what the mayor is trying to accomplish is to terminate him for convenience, which is permitted under his contract, and then, as she discussed, we would go ahead and negotiate the terms of that severance. What else can I?
So I've made the motion, so if we have a second.
But I have the gavel. I thought I can't second.
No, I passed
I'm
the
not
gavel
clear.
over, so.
Pass it back.
Okay.
Motion's been made.
Okay, well then so I pass the gavel back. That's what happened. So I pass the gavel back and I would second that motion.
And I'd like to hear from the city manager.
Sure.
And, I understand that email went out, what was it, this morning, yesterday?
Yes, right.
And there was a negotiation taking place, or perhaps a conversation of a negotiation, based on the voluntary resignation, but, obviously, if his staying here is not gonna be productive, then, I'm okay with it, but I just want to make sure that, he gets a fair, exit package, if that is the case, and he did voluntarily or agrees to that resignation, or that termination.
Can I respond
Yeah,
to
go
that?
ahead, please.
I had the opportunity to look at the contract earlier today, and as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's if he resigns, if he's terminated, then he has a right to a severance package that includes 20 weeks and other things. But if he resigns, then he doesn't get to have that severance package.
I understand
So
that.
the termination by convenience is basically a way of being fair, and I'm assuming that this is what I'm gleaning, right? That we're trying to have our cake and eat it too, where he's able to resign, but also get the benefits that he would not get because he's resigning. So it's trying to put those things together. Am I getting that right, Chris?
I can't comment on that. I really don't know at this point.
That's fair, I'm sorry, that's fair. So that's the, why it's being called a termination and not a
Correct,
a
consistent,
resignation, and why
correct.
there's no letter.
Because under his contract, that's basically how the contract reads, and that's my understanding. So Ed, if you want to,
No, that's exactly how the contract reads. And
So he did voluntarily resign, but we have to terminate him so he's able to get a severance package.
I don't want to speak for Mr. Russo, but I believe that what I've been advised is that there's been a mutual understanding that Mr. Russo's employment contract would be terminated, and then we would negotiate the terms of a severance pursuant to the terms of his contract, which is up to 20 weeks of pay, as well as his accumulated personal leave.
Understood. My thing is that can we, obviously, you know, there's the termination, but then there's gonna be a negotiation of his exit package, let's say, right? Can we do it another way where, you know, obviously there's a negotiation of his exit package, and then there's a termination date that is not, you know, so obviously once he's terminated, I don't know exactly from a contractual standpoint or a negotiation standpoint, if he's gonna be able to, and to be fair to him, if he's gonna be able to negotiate a package that is a little bit more favorable to him, let's say.
I don't know what you mean by more favorable, Commissioner, but according to Florida law, we cannot provide him more than 20 weeks of pay as part of a severance package, except for his accumulated personal leave, which is part of the contract. So that's permissible by Florida law, but anything over and above that would not be.
that's my understanding, that this is governed by state statute and state law.
By state statute and state law, but can we as a commission, let's say if there's additional perks or whatever within his exit package, we could approve those? Does it come to the commission for approval? It's just that I'm just trying to
Yes,
understand, this is a little too
It
fast
has-
for me and too soon.
It has to
Yeah.
come back to you for approval.
Okay,
And
All right.
what the proposal was, I believe, and Mayor Goldman can correct me if I'm wrong, was to bring it back at the December meeting.
That's correct. It's all subject to approval, and there's substantial accrued time off and paid leave. So it's a substantial amount. So it is subject to your approval, but it's the
can we go beyond the 20 weeks or whatever permissible by law? Yes, right? With our approval?
No, we cannot go
Not at
past
all.
the 20 weeks.
Okay.
It's-
All right, just trying to understand the process, yeah.
The statute's very clear. And then we did the research, and actually the statute was passed a year before Mr. Russo was hired. And so knowing that there was a maximum of 20 weeks, that's what was put into his contract.
And that's the maximum.
That is the maximum as far as severance pay is concerned, yes.
Okay. All right.
so we have a motion and we have a second. So
We just need a voice vote.
okay,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay. I mean, I'd like to give him time to negotiate some sort of exit package. I mean, if you know the relationship is going to be contentious and not productive, you know, for the city manager and ourselves, then, you know, fine. But yeah, I just, you know, this is a little too soon, and I think it'd be, you know, in all fairness, he should have the right to negotiate something.
Well, we're not voting on the severance package. We're voting on the contract termination.
No, I understand that, but from a process standpoint, so he gets terminated and then a package is negotiated, correct? a termination package.
A severance package that is
severance
subject
package,
to commission approval. So
Mhm.
there, you have to separate the two items.
I understand. I understand.
Mayor, may I? For the benefit of the audience, the reason that the commission is struggling with this is something called the Sunshine Law. They can't have the conversation about this topic except in front of y'all. So that's why Commissioner Lama, is just hearing this for the first time, because that's the only time he could possibly hear of it. So I hope that helps a little bit, Mayor.
So
I
we
mean,
have.
I like to defer this if possible, and then perhaps have a workshop and sit and really look at the process and look at the options. Again, if it's not going to be a productive, position for him and for us, then fine. But I think we need to. I need more time to think about this and let it simmer.
So we have a motion, we have a second, and then we have two.
Mayor, according to section C-4.1, subsection C of the charter, no action of the commission shall be valid or binding unless adopted by the affirmative vote of at least 3 commissioners. So the 3 of you are going to have to agree to this or the motion fails.
So for the purpose of the record, the motion has failed because it needs a unanimous vote.
Okay.
I defer. That's my position. Just to understand the process and perhaps be able to sit and have a good conversation about this.
But a conversation with who about this? But
A workshop
this is not a work, this is, a severance package is not a workshop item. I mean, we're going to have, again, there are 2 separate issues at play here. One is the actual contract termination, and the other is what the amount of the severance or the severance package is. There can be no severance. If there is a resignation, there is no
I
severance.
understand. There's no resignation, no severance. Termination equals severance.
Correct.
Okay. Now,
Correct.
we terminate him today, right?
Correct.
We understand that. Okay? Then, for the intern, then what happens with that position? Do we open it up? Do we post it?
Well, I propose to nominate Stan Morris, interim, effective tomorrow.
Okay. Chris, any thoughts?
I mean, I really don't have anything to say. This just came about yesterday, and I think it sounds like I think I could work something out with the city attorney if we have some time to talk about it. Frankly, there's there's a model, a recent one with the former city manager of North Miami Beach that would be possibly comparable and something that's already passed muster. So that might be something to take a look at. But I think no, I haven't yet. I'm just thinking about it from listening to this discussion. That's all. The whole issue just came up yesterday morning. Yeah.
All right, so listen, if he can negotiate a severance that is okay with him, and obviously it's going to be contentious if he stays. fair package negotiated. I'm in favor of that. And then obviously, okay, Stan Morris will come back as interim, but I do obviously need to learn what the HR process is, and, searching for our next city manager. That's what I need to understand. A lot of questions in my mind right now, so, Just that, sorry, I had my mic on mute. So, yeah, I would vote yes, but I don't know if we could obviously, have a workshop and understand what the next steps would be in the search for a city manager, and take it from there.
So you're voting yes on the termination?
I'm voting yes on the termination.
Okay.
I think that I haven't talked to Chris, but I think he as long as he gets a severance package that is beneficial to him and fair to him, I think from what I've felt, I think he'll be okay. And then the question mark would be, all right, what do we do with the position that is vacant? Obviously, we need to follow whatever systems and protocols are in place to do a search for that.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so the motion passes?
So at this point, we would need, what it sounds like is Commissioner Lama is changing his vote. So at this point, I just need to reconfirm that it is a unanimous vote from all three commissioners.
Okay, so
But we
I-
need public comment, though.
Okay.
And if there's-
Can I make one comment? When we had talked yesterday, we were talking about, I'm not going to do anything to anybody or anything in the office, but I do have a large office that I'd like to have some time. We talked about till December 15th, but I need time to clear that office out. At least give me some time to do that.
we discussed
I don't want
that.
to be on leave. Yeah,
So
so I don't want that to be part of the resolution.
Yeah.
Okay, but we need to clarify on the narrow issue of the termination of the city manager's contract. Can we kind of get past this? Can
Right,
I
okay.
pass the gavel and make the motion?
Well, yeah, we don't need to restate the motion. We just need to clarify the record that Commissioner Lama is now changing his vote from a nay to a yay, and that makes it a unanimous vote. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But we still need public comment.
Before the public comment. So
I just have one more question. When would the termination take effect? Because the email I saw stated December 15th. So, and did that change, Dana?
So there would be an administrative leave, period.
Yes.
But of course, Chris had indicated, he would be cleaning out his office and so on and so forth. We just want to, we need to have an acting city manager,
I understand.
effective.
So he'll be around till December 15th?
I don't think you have anything to worry about me being there to the 15th.
No, that's
I
not
don't
my
know that
worry.
you-
I just
need
need
to
to
be
get
there.
clarification, yeah. I just wanted to understand based on the email that I saw earlier, and, we're discussing the termination, so I just wanted to know the information. Yeah. I have no worries about that, yeah.
okay, so can I just clarify something then for the record and for the public's benefit? Now that the motion has been made and it's been seconded and it's been voted upon, now we have to enter into reconsideration of that motion to allow for the public comment.
Yes.
Okay, so then at this time, Mayor Goldman, if you can figuratively pass the gavel to Vice Mayor,
Pass the gavel.
and then you can state your motion.
State my motion to, as stated earlier, to terminate the city manager without cause, termination for convenience, and put on administrative leave
Okay,
until December 15th, after tonight's meeting is concluded.
okay.
But
now-
there is an ability to, right, if it's can you clarify administrative leave? There's an ability for the office and so forth, and, okay. Okay.
Okay, so now the vice mayor will pass the gavel back to the mayor, and we'll open it up for public comment before there's a vote. So if vice mayor, you're going to second the motion, you can do so.
I'll second.
Okay, so now we can open up to public comment. And if there's no one that wishes to speak, we can close that portion, and now we can take the vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Ramos?
Aye. Sorry.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay. So now we have the next motion to appoint Stan Morris as an interim city manager.
So are we passing the gavel
So
again?
I have a
or is
gavel
it one of
again?
them?
Yes, I'm passing the gavel. I'll make the motion and
Okay, so the motion is stated to bring back Stan Morris. So now you can pass the gavel back to the mayor, and
Okay.
you can second the motion.
And I would second that motion.
And is there any public comment? Okay, hearing none, we can take the vote. Or you can discuss
Public-
it amongst yourself as well.
Okay, again, now I need to understand, he's gonna come back as interim. What is the period he's gonna come back for? Do we know the amount of time
well,
before the job is posted and we go through an HR?
well, this would be it would be subject to commission approval, but to place him as the permanent city manager.
So now he's coming back as interim?
Interim, but subject to commission approval as
To-
permanent,
to
as
become
permanent city
permanent.
manager.
Okay. And what is just to understand, what is the protocol and the HR process to fill vacancies?
But you get to
This-
fill this vacancy, okay? But what the charter provides,
Without a
that-
search, without a posting the position?
all it says is that the city manager shall be nominated by the mayor and confirmed at the next commission meeting by a majority of the commission. So there's nothing in the charter that says anything about a search. There's nothing about anything like that. It's the mayor's prerogative to nominate with your ability to confirm.
Mm-hmm, okay.
So again, it's my designated appointment, subject to commission approval.
So right now, we're just voting for him to be interim city manager.
Correct. But there will be for a permanent appointment.
And when would that be?
At the next commission
December
meeting.
15th? 16th. I'm sorry, 16th. Yeah. Okay.
But it's to have the motion here is to have an interim because we have to have an acting city manager.
Correct. Yes. All right.
So I've moved,
I
I
have no
passed
idea
the
where the
gavel.
gavel is right now.
No, so right now we just
Here's the gavel.
we just need the voice vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, so the motion passes 3-0.
Okay, moving right along. I keep switching my glasses. Item 10J.
10J is a resolution confirming the appointment to fill the vacancy of Commissioner Seat 1.
Where's my packet? Okay. This is the north seat, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This resolution is presented for your consideration. Pursuant to the state of Florida's Resign to Run law, Larissa Svechin tendered her resignation as Commissioner Seat 1 of the City of Sunny Isles Beach effective November 3rd, 2021. Pursuant to Section 2.5C, paren 2 of the city's charter, as the duly elected mayor, I have the authority to nominate a qualified elector of the city to fill a vacancy on the commission, subject to confirmation of the city commission. At this time, I wish to nominate Johanna Rabinovich to fill the Commission Seat 1 vacancy. The appointee will serve on the commission until the special election selected for January 25th, 2022. Do we have an open discussion? Do we need a vote?
We need public
Is,
comment.
is she qualified?
Yes, she's duly qualified.
I,
Yes.
I think they need to know that.
Yes, I'm sorry. So yes, she's duly qualified. She's actually a candidate for the January 25th election.
So is this do I pass the gavel? Is this a motion or?
Can I'd like to make a comment. I'd like to suggest another candidate. Perhaps, can we have an open discussion on this? I'd like to suggest Steve Tratner as candidate. I don't know if we can have a discussion. I mean, I think he's also qualified for the position, and he's been involved in committees, and you know, he knows the city business and affairs pretty well. He's been present, so I just wanted to have that discussion. I'm aware of the consequences if we don't fill that position. Obviously, you know, with Bud's resignation, it's been a challenge. You know, if we have a 4-person or a 3-person commission, then there's issues, but I just want to have an open, honest discussion about this. Anybody like to comment?
So it's my appointment subject to confirmation. I don't proffer another candidate
Okay,
or another person. So
okay.
So we
Just
just
wanted
need
to
a
bring it
motion.
up.
A motion for the resolution to accept Ms. Rabinovich as the nominee. Your public comments, I'm sorry, keep forgetting. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, we can take a motion.
So moved.
I'll second. Can I second or wait?
Yeah, okay, so there's a
So I'll
second.
pass the gavel and
Yeah, so there's a second, so now all in favor.
aye.
I'm in favor. Obviously, nothing against you, Joanna. Just that, you know, Steve's been, I've known him for a while. He's very involved. You're both qualified. And obviously, you know, I'll work with anybody. I'm objective. So, you know, obviously, I don't want to have a challenging situation in the commission like we've had, you know, in the past few months.
Yeah, the goal of this commission is to return to some level of civility and decorum.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can accomplish that in short order.
I think, you know, I keep thinking about, I feel like Humpty Dumpty, you know, and that we're just actively trying to put things back in place. It's been challenging. You know, at first it ended up just being me and Alex, and then we had the elections and everything else, and it's been challenging, and I understand your sentiment, Commissioner Lam, I really do, but I do think that it's important to these are temporary appointments, and
I understand,
there's
yes.
still an election ahead, and we're I think we need to just take these baby steps, and ultimately, the person who fills the seats for 3 years is going to be whoever wins those elections. So I think for the temporary purpose, I defer to just trying to put Humpty Dumpty back.
I understand.
In these
Yeah.
baby steps,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I thought we could have an open discussion about it and the nominees and, but it's fine.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay, just to confirm the vote, is it all yeas?
Yes,
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, normally we would do the swearing in right now, but if I can ask the commission to please consider the next one, so we can just do both swearing ins at once instead of going back and forth. Is that okay?
Okay, so next resolution, again, pursuant to, this is, next item, right?
Yes, next item is 10K, which is a resolution confirming the appointment to fill the vacancy for Commissioner seat 3.
Pursuant to the state of Florida's Resign to Run law, I tendered my resignation as Commissioner for seat 3 of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, effective November 3rd, 2021. Pursuant to Section 2.5C(2) of the City Charter, as the duly elected mayor, I have the authority to nominate a qualified elector of the city to fill a vacancy on the commission, subject to confirmation of the City Commission. At this time, I wish to nominate Fabiola Stuyvesant to fill the commission's C3 vacancy. The appointee will serve on the commission until the special election scheduled for January 25th, 2022. Any public comments
Yes,
or?
for public.
Is she
comment.
qualified?
She's qualified, yes, yes, she's qualified. She's also a candidate for the January 25th election. Yes, thank you. So you're
Any-
passing the gavel to Vice Mayor to make the motion.
I make the motion,
Vice
pass the
Mayor.
gavel, and I make the motion.
Okay. I'll second.
All
Before
in-
we vote, is there any public comment? Hearing none, we can vote. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, so now we'll do the swearing in. If you both can join me at the podium.
Are we,
Let me swear them in first and then we can go.
okay.
I, Johanna Rabinovich,
Be duly sworn by the city clerk.
be duly sworn by the city clerk,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States of America
the Constitution and government of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida,
That I am qualified to hold office
that I am qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
and the Charter of the City of Sunny Isles Beach,
and the Charter of the City of Sunny Isles Beach,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully perform the duties
and faithfully perform the duties
of Commissioner of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida,
of Commissioner of the
City of Sunny Isles Beach,
City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida,
which duties I am about to assume.
which duties I'm about to assume,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you, Ms. Mayor.
Mason.
Yes, please. Thank you. I, Fabiola Stuyvesant,
I, Fabiola Stuyvesant,
being duly sworn by the city clerk,
being duly sworn by the city clerk,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida,
and all of the state of Florida,
that I am qualified to hold office
that I am qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
and the charter of the city of Sun Hills Beach,
and charter of the city of Sunny Hills Beach,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully
perform the duties
of Commissioner
of Commissioner
of the city of Sun Hills Beach, Florida,
of the city of Sunny Hills Beach, Florida,
which duties I am about to assume.
which duties I am about to assume,
So help me God.
so help me God.
The commission want the pictures?
Sure.
I'm sorry, call you, all back. Yes, if you guys want to come up to the dais, you may sit on the dais if you so choose.
Okay, next. Next.
Yes, one on each side of the mayor.
Okay, okay. Item 12A is a discussion regarding status reports and status meetings for the commission.
Yeah.
The floor
So-
for Commissioner Lama.
Thank you, thank you. So basically, you know, I've been discussing this, I think we talked about this a couple of times. I think we need to come up with some sort of structured and systematic form of reporting from the city manager's office to the commission, okay? And what I'm suggesting is biweekly reports to the commission and monthly meetings as well to go over any questions. And this will be a back and forth, whether the city manager and the staff want to give us an update, and also if we want to propose any ideas or we have any items to discuss. I mean, I think this will keep us all in check. Once you have something structured, you have something in the calendar, you know, these are, you know, basic things that keep us true. And then the information flows and nothing falls through the cracks. So I think that is something that, I don't know if there's a resolution that we could pass regarding this. So it is part of, you know, it is part of the, you know, responsibilities of the city manager, you know, to make sure that we are, you know, given reports every 2 weeks, and we meet with the city manager and also any other heads of the departments and the legal department as well. I don't know. You want to open it up to discussion? Any comments?
I'll comment on that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I think you and I, up until very recently, we were the new ones up here. And I tell people it's sort of like parenting. You really don't know until like you're in it, you know, what you need to do. And sometimes we sit up here and today was a good example, just trying to do the best we can to make decisions. And when we haven't had the opportunity to be, today was an exception. because a lot of things happen quickly, but it's difficult when you start and you don't know what's expected of you or how things work, and then you're kind of just trying to fill in the gaps. So I think in general, keeping us accountable to each other and just keeping the flow of things and just being generally for us as a commission to be more informed and to be able to ask questions, even though in theory the opportunity is always there. In practice, it's not always easy. It gets away from you.
Well,
And I
there's
like
no
the
system
idea of
in
having a
place.
structure.
There's no system in place.
Right, and
Yeah,
having
for
a
that
structure, I think,
information
will be
flow.
is a good idea. The same thing with workshops, and it doesn't have to. We could maybe make a schedule of topics as we've done. We've done some of that, but I think something more regular and would be a good idea. And as I think we need to build a bench. For the commission, we want the commission to be successful, and for that we need to be informed, and to a degree greater than what we get from the Florida League of Cities training. It has its value, but it doesn't really prepare you for the day to day, for our day to day. And I like what you're saying, to give us more tools to do our jobs better.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I have no idea whether we need a resolution or not, but I certainly like the spirit of it.
I would like to know how often it is that we do get.
Joanna, I'm sorry, could you grab, I'm sorry, Mayor, you have her mic, and if you can just pull that one over.
I would like to know how often it is that we would receive these updates and these minutes from the city manager.
So basically, anything in writing is basically our agenda review and the agenda. And, you get some emails, but as far as a report, an official report, from A to Z, covering different, let's say, departments or anything that's going on in the city, we don't have a report.
And
no.
how often or how much time do we have before a commission meeting to prepare for it?
Well, we usually receive the agenda on Fridays. We have our agenda review either Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays our meeting.
My comment is, I like the spirit of this. I just don't want to create too much of an administrative burden on all the respective departments. So I guess my question is, would the respective, if the idea is we want to have the departments report to make separate reports, or they would consolidate in one consolidated where a paragraph of each department would be incorporated into one master memo, and then, or one master report that the city manager would then distribute to the commission.
Yeah, my idea will be one report coming from the city manager, which will contain, all the information from the different departments, from legal, et cetera. Just one report with everything. And it doesn't have to go into great detail, but at least the top line information that we should know. Yes.
Information like what they're doing is, events, or, I know we've talked about that with respect to the police department, but, just,
Well, we could
I think
discuss
need
the
a little
actual
more direction,
Well, yeah,
what
we could
exactly
discuss
we're
that.
reporting
I mean,
on.
I'll put together an email and I'll send some of my ideas on that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just remember that you're bound by the Sunshine Law, Commissioner, so you can't send an email directly to the commission.
No. I'll send it to the staff or to the city manager, with my ideas.
Okay.
Or we could have a workshop on it.
And that can be the first workshop. That'll be the first workshop.
There you go. We could have a workshop on that, and come up with what type of information, come up with some sort of template, and that's it. It's keep it simple, but obviously where the information is there, you put it in writing. Once you're doing the report, it makes you think about what should be communicated to commission. And once we meet, we obviously discuss that, and we tell the staff what any ideas or things we'd like to implement. We just need to work on that. Yes.
I don't. Can this be I think I'd like to hear. I'd like a little more detail on what type of information you're looking for, because again, I don't want to create an extra layer.
Understood,
Unless there's really, there's some kind of functionality to that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd like a
So,
little
so
more
for
information.
instance, if the zoning and planning has started some conversations with a developer, even if there's no application yet, I'd like to know that. If the police is thinking about or developing some sort of training, I'd like to know that. If, let's say, the city manager is looking at, signing contracts or doing different things, I like for that to be in the report. Yes. That type of information.
For me,
I only have a suggestion, and that is to have that conversation with the new city manager and see what what input
definitely.
they can give
Yeah.
can give you, and maybe they already have an idea of something
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
you can incorporate in your ideas into.
Yeah. And legal too, if, we get presented with a lawsuit, I'd like to know that.
No, I was thinking
We don't
that.
we don't get sued that often.
No, I know. But when we do, I'd like to know.
Or when there's developments in any of the litigation.
Yeah.
I think we can, again, I'd like a little more, I'd like to see a little more input and discussion amongst, with the city manager and the department heads to make sure that that's, functional, streamlined, and again, not creating too much, but I would agree that it's definitely our understanding that, we're not getting, we need more information about, things that are going on, and I respect that. I respect the essence and the spirit of that, because I understand where you're coming from. Okay, so is this something that we would, get more input, and we're just, because it's not really the subject of a resolution, correct?
Right,
It's
it's
more
a
like, it's more of
non-actionable
an,
item.
Well, I think
There's
it
no
needs to be
action.
developed, needs to be hashed out, and then perhaps, it's part of the responsibilities of the city manager's office.
okay. I think it's a worthwhile pursuit. Next item. That's Mauricio?
Yes, so the
That's
next item on
yours.
the agenda is 12B, which is a discussion regarding a consent style agenda. So for the benefit of the new members of the commission and also for the public, I'll explain very briefly, or at least I'll try to explain very briefly, the difference between what's a consent agenda and what we currently have right now. So right now on the agenda, and I know you both don't have one, but basically everything on the agenda is outlined and it's considered one by one. What a consent agenda is that all the actionable items, with the exception of zoning applications and ordinances for second reading, because those require public comments and or public hearings, everything else would be grouped as a one vote. So the commission would vote on those items in one vote, and then everything else would be discussed individually and considered individually. If we were to move to a consent agenda, that does not mean that any member of the commission would not be able to take something out of the consent agenda and put it in the regular agenda for an independent discussion and motion and vote on that item. The reason for this consent agenda is because it's a way of being able to streamline the process and being able to minimize the time that staff spends preparing these items, coming here to present. And it also allows the commission to have more time to have a more robust discussion on items that truly merit those discussions. So that's the idea of it. That's the idea behind of it. It's something that we've discussed internally among staff, and it's something that we would like to present the commission to consider. If this were the direction that the commission would want to move in, there would be an ordinance needed because our agenda is stipulated by ordinance in our code. So we would need to change that section of our code to provide and allow for a consent agenda.
So essentially, the meetings have gone from, 1 hour meetings to now 4 and 5 hour meetings, and some of the very routine some of the very routine matters of approval of, general contracts and so forth, they would be aggregated together, but if there is an item of specific interest to a specific commissioner, they could pull that out and separate that out and say, I have a discussion, or I have an opinion, or,
Absolutely.
I have questions about that particular item.
Yes.
So it's really a way of, streamlining the meeting process, which by all accounts has become very lengthy and protracted.
Correct.
Um,
So basically, if we can just get a consensus from the commission on how to move and what the will of the commission is, we can
So
work with
I-
the city attorney's office to draft an ordinance.
what I'd like to say is that, we really just first discussed this today. So it's not anything that I'm sure we have a strong feeling about, right? So this was the first I'd heard about it, but in deference to our city staff, this is something that has been discussed internally for quite some time, correct?
Correct.
So, again, to the extent that we need input from the staff or to think about that further, that's certainly, because nobody's really heard about this until, at least
Right,
on the
again,
commission, until today.
Yes, again, so this would require an ordinance, which would mean that it would need 2 hearings. So it would be an ordinance for first reading and a second reading before full adoption. So there's still time to be able to have discussions amongst the commission or with staff and get a feel for what the staff, would really like to see happen.
Okay.
So I'm all for streamlining meetings and not being here, till 1 a.m, which I don't think that's happened yet, right? But I'm all for streamlining. But my reservation would be that while we can pull the item, we can say, well, I really want to talk about this XYZ. It's no longer open for public comment, right? So if the public wants to comment on something, they would have to basically appeal to us to pull it, right?
Correct. So what would theoretically happen is that we would need to rework the order of the agenda. And right now, we have section number 13, which is a citizens forum, which is basically where the public is allowed to come and speak before the commission on whichever matters interest them. We would move that to the top of the agenda. And if in that instance, there's something that the public would like to see the commission discuss, have a lengthier discussion about, the commission can certainly pull that item out of that consent agenda and put it in the regular agenda for an independent discussion.
Okay, because I just want to make sure that we're not, even though I understand these are usually like standard contracts, I don't want to curb public comment.
No, absolutely. And that's not the intent of this at
Okay.
all.
And that's absolutely something to consider. Ed?
I'd just like to add that in a lot of jurisdictions, they do allow the public to pull matters off of the consent agenda in order, if they would like to say something prior to your vote on it. So that's another option for you if you like.
I would like that. I think if that's permitted, I just.
It
I would
really
like
doesn't,
that.
it really doesn't add a whole lot of time. Generally, there's only 1 or 2 that people are passionate about. But that gives them an opportunity to have some say before you make that decision.
And how prevalent is this new consent style? Is it?
It's
is
in
it-
virtually every jurisdiction that we work in.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily new. It's something that,
It's new to us.
well, yeah,
That's
to
right.
us, it would be something new, but I don't want to say all the municipalities use this style of agenda, but I would say the vast majority do.
It was in place in Broward County when I became the county attorney in 1999. So and it's gone through since then, and they do have it so that any member of the public is allowed to pull an item off of the consent agenda.
So we can still preserve some level of transparency,
Exactly.
but aggregating or creating some sort of streamlined process which would be beneficial for staff and so forth, right?
Yes, correct. And the public, again, everything will still be available to the public. Every single resolution, item, contract, it's still a public record. The agenda will still be published online as it is right now today. It's just the way things are approved would change slightly.
And if any commissioner wanted to put forth a resolution or something like that,
Yeah,
that they
it's
wanted
still
to,
the same
make a
process. That
special.
doesn't
Okay.
change.
And I guess that would work if everybody agrees on. So if there's 10 things, but I disagree on one, I would have to pull that one.
Correct.
I would have to pull that one. Okay.
So it's a discussion item. We would just need, because it requires an ordinance, we would just need at least a consensus from the commission.
Right.
To direct the city attorney to draft an ordinance to rework that section.
Well,
Or we can push it and discuss it at further length next month.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should probably push it to next month. We just really literally introduced it today, so for me, it's a let's think about it.
Okay, it's just that, we could have something for you to consider on first reading, and if you don't like it on first reading, or you want to amend it at first reading, we can, whichever way the commission wants to go.
Yeah, so like I had mentioned, it requires an ordinance, so we can bring that ordinance to you on first reading. If you like the way it looks, we can pass it and hear it for second reading before fully adopting it. Or if you don't like it, we can table it, defer it, withdraw it, whatever the case may be, whatever the will of the commission is.
I don't know if anybody else has comments on that or thoughts, or it's new. For us, it's new, right? Maybe not
it's
for
new.
you, but
It's-
for us, it's new.
No,
so.
for me, because I've been a city clerk. This is the only city I've been a clerk in, so.
Okay. Well,
There's a
Ed,
lot
it's
of-
not new for you.
Around us?
Virtually almost every city.
Oh,
around us
almost
does
every
it,
city.
yes.
I think Miami-Dade does that.
Yeah,
Miami-Dade
Miami-Dade
County.
for sure
Yeah, they
does
do.
it,
Yeah, they just,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I've seen their commission meetings, yeah. Okay.
So just so that we can have a little bit more of clear direction, and if it's okay with the commission, we can bring something back in writing so that you all can look at it, read it, consider it, and we can move forward from there.
Okay.
That's good? Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you.
do you need a motion?
No. we
No.
don't have a motion.
Okay. Now we have the public forum, citizens forum.
Yes, so we are now in citizens forum. And
Okay.
there's two, I believe two.
I'll find them. On item 13, citizens forum, Nicholas Juchenko.
Good evening.
State your name and address for the record.
Nicholas Yuchenko. Congratulations on your appointments, and I'm here for only one reason. I'm trying to maybe prevent another tragedy in our town, and specifically, I'd like to talk about the 183rd Street and Collins Avenue pedestrian crossing. It's just unbearable what's going on. People do not want to respect the law. They want to run you over. And I'm asking you to do something before somebody dies, basically. It's going to happen if you don't do anything.
The crosswalk, meaning, because do we have a stop on red or a no turn
Well-
on red? And is it the collision of pedestrian and vehicular, or what aspect? Because I'm highly
Okay.
interested in all of our crosswalks, but I want to
course.
get a sense of, I know it's a very heavily trafficked
Correct.
street.
May I
Where-
explain it
yeah.
to you?
Okay, go ahead.
And you have the corner, which is come in east on 183rd, and it comes to a T on Collins, right? Then you either can make a left or you can make a right. You have the school right behind, a lot of children between 2 and 3, which you also have a problem with Publix because the parents park there. But that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is that I have experienced it myself. I live right across the street almost. And today I went to Publix twice, I forgot some eggs. And I went back twice. I yelled at, I got people swearing at you. They just don't want to respect. I mean, when I see somebody on that lane, I don't go near that lane. I let the pedestrians go. Even if I have to wait another light, it's just unbearable. And basically, they're not respecting the law. And I think some enforcement would teach them. I had some words with the chief, which was very nice. But you got to do something. I don't know what. I'm not an engineer. You were put here to make those decisions, and I think you will listen and please do something because, you know, people,
Absolutely.
you've had so many tragedies already in town. You don't want another one, do you? So let's do something about that corner. Please.
Thank
That's
you
all.
very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Okay, our next speaker,
The next one?
David Vergel.
Good evening, Commission. I just have a question regarding the hours of operation of the Newport Fishing Pier. Ever since March of last year, the hours have been made shorter and shorter every time. Now it closes like around 7:30 p.m. And I was wondering if there was any way to extend the hours to, for example, 10 p.m. Because I know it used to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I used to enjoy going at night when it was cooler. And that's basically it. Just it's possible to change the hours more.
Thank you very much. Chris, have the hours changed over time in that pier, or?
I'll defer to Sylvia. Sylvia, you remember the hours? We have changed them over time. We're waiting for some other things to be able to extend the hours somewhat.
Yes, we have. After COVID, during COVID we adjusted the hours. Then since then, about 5 months ago, I want to say, we changed the hours to 7:30. Primarily, the reason is because of activity that happens there in the evenings. That's very difficult to control unless we have somebody stationed there every minute, and we don't have the manpower to have somebody stationed there at all times. So currently, the decision was to close it earlier to avoid having that. There's people who go out there and drink and do other things, and it's difficult to monitor that and control that without somebody there constantly.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next speaker, Ari Steiger.
Welcome all the new commissioners and the new mayor. And now that you fired the best city manager that we had for the past 15 years, why don't you fire the police chief?
Do we need the person's name and the address for the record?
That's correct. Ari Steiger.
262 Atlantic Island.
Okay.
So again, we had the best city manager for the past 15 years that did flawless job in the city, and he got fired. We have a chief of police, which I think deserves all the credit for the police station, and you're dragging your feet regarding his contract or nominate him to the chief of police. Why don't you bring an end to it? Nobody knows what's going on. You have the police officer that's been in the force for 23 years, and he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. Why dragging the feet with this nonsense? Got to make a decision and let him know whether he's going or he's coming. That's my comment. Good luck.
Okay, I think we have no other public comment, no other public speakers?
No, I have none.
So this meeting is,
We need
do
a
we
motion.
need a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
We need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Go ahead.
Second.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.